Let's dive into pillar 4, which is all around crafting a vision for our life and for our relationship. And this is all around getting crystal clear on who are we? What are our values? What do we want? What do we want out of life? What do we want out of our relationship? So in this video, I'm going to talk about defining a clear life vision rooted in purpose, values, desires, and impact. We're going to talk about how do we translate that vision into an actionable roadmap with real steps, so it doesn't just seem like this amorphous thing that's off in the distance that we can't really reach. Like, how do we actually bridge the gap between where we are now and what it is that we want? And then I want to talk about too, like, how do we build accountability systems to ensure long-term follow through? One point that I want to make was I was having this conversation with my brother the other day and talking about this concept of people start climbing up this ladder in their life, right? They're go to school, they get a job, they start advancing, they get into a relationship, and they're stepping up a ladder rung every year. But the problem is they get to a point in their life where they realize that ladder's been leaning up against the wrong wall. And it feels impossible to change, because in order to change, you have to come back down the ladder, move the ladder over to a different wall, and start climbing back up. So this is where people will just live in that state of unhappiness, unfulfillment. They never actually move towards a life that they want. They stay stuck forever. So we want to avoid that. And the number one thing that I want you to take away from this video is that you need to define your why. Like, what is your purpose? Why are you here? What are your gifts that you need to offer the world? Like, what's something that you can commit to that can get you out of bed in the morning? Maybe it's family, business, parenthood, like motherhood, fatherhood, community. Maybe it's a mission that you want to bring to the world. It doesn't have to be something that makes you money, by the way. This concept of why and purpose, people seem to think that, if I'm not running an organization that provides clean drinking water to like sub-Saharan Africa, that like I'm not on purpose. But for you, purpose is very specific to where you're at in your life. And if you want to be on purpose and you want to have that feeling of like what gets me out of bed, what gets me alive in the morning, then you need to start to figure out like why, like what are you here to give? What are your gifts? And what's really challenging is like this becomes a big complaint in relationships, is that you end up with a partner and they're like, they just don't really have much to give, or they don't want to do a whole lot. They lack purpose. And it's really hard to be with somebody that lacks drive, that lacks purpose, that lacks meaning, because they live in this like muted dull zone for a big part of their life. They're not really like working towards anything. So, this piece is less around a relationship in the sense where like building a shared vision. It's more like, what's the vision that you have for your life that you can bring to the relationship, that you can bring to the table? Because when you wake up inspired every day and you're on purpose and you're doing something, you're going to naturally show up better in your relationship. You're going to be lit up. You're going to be fired up. You're going to have something to share it with. It's really effective. So you need to define your why. And if you don't know how to do that, then what I recommend everybody that I tell all the men's this in my men's group, in my program, you need to create space to explore it. That might be once a week. You go grab a coffee with no phone, pen and paper, you just journal. What do I like? What do I enjoy? What are my gifts? What are the things that I want to do that I'm too scared to do? What are the things that I really want to do that I don't want to tell people about because they're going to judge me? But you need to create space in your life to explore that. Maybe it does look like volunteering. Maybe it does look like starting a side business, but you have to try things and create meaning and create purpose. Purpose and meaning doesn't just fall in your lap. You kind of have to go out there and figure it out and find out, right? So this goes back to the fuck around and find out thing. Like, why are you here? What is your purpose? And if you don't know, that's okay. But you need to figure it out. You need to create space in your life and like figure it out like your life depends on it, because that's going to be the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning, which is really powerful. Next, we want to talk about values. How do you define your values, right? What are the principles that guide you in determining what is important and how you act? So I've got a list of values I'm going to bring up here, but I mean, most people have a good idea. You might have a pretty good idea of what your values are, but honestly, like authenticity, right? Courage, creativity, curiosity, dependability, empathy. I've got a list that I've written out here. Gratitude, honesty, integrity, kindness, loyalty, patience, perseverance, respect, legacy, discipline. Like these are all values that you could be living by. And what I recommend is Google list of values or have ChatGPT write you up. Like, what are all the main values in the world and what are the main 3 to 4 that stand out? Right? Those become your values. Those become the lens in which you make decisions and see the world. So if one of your values is authenticity, then you're going to feel the best when you're showing up authentically. You're going to stop putting on this veil of this mask of who you want people to think you are. And you're just going to be like, this is me. Like what you see is what you get. Maybe integrity is a value of yours. Right? So you need to determine, like, you start to make decisions through the lens of like, am I going to be in integrity here or out of integrity? And you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing. But we have to know, like, if we don't know what our gifts are, why we're here, what we're trying to create in the world, and we don't have values we haven't identified what our values are, this is why people walk around lost. They walk around dazed and confused because they don't have anything that's guiding them. They don't have something that's like a moral compass or a map. They don't have that like through line of like, all right, like I want to be authentic, I want to be integral, I want to be kind, and I want to respect people. Boom, like that is crystal clear. Like those are my 4 values. And you know what? I'm here to, I'm on a mission to awaken 1 million men to live with purpose, depth, and integrity, right? This is a movement to help men go from surviving to thriving. Like that's my purpose. That's my why. So what we want to start to do is build out a vision map, right? So like within the vision map, we have our why, we have our values, okay? And then we have our desires. So it's like, I'm just going to kind of start to share with you my vision map, but I came up with this whole concept around Project 1 Million. I'm on a mission to awaken 1 million men to live with purpose, depth, and integrity. This is a movement to help men move from surviving to thriving in their life. My values are authenticity, integrity, respect, and kindness. That's so funny that those are the 4 that I picked because those are the 4 that I just randomly read out on the screen, right? You know your values, right? But so once you have your why, once you've figured out your why, once you have your values, you need to figure out like, what is it that you actually want in your life? Health, wealth, lifestyle. Like, what are your health goals, fitness goals, athletic pursuits? What are the mountains you want to climb, the waves that you want to surf? What marathons do you want to run, right? How do you want to feel in your body? How do you want to look? How much energy and vitality do you want to have? Okay, like what are your desires in the realm of health? That's all going to feed into, if you're healthy and you're feeling really good, then you're going to chase that purpose with vitality and passion. Okay, I'm lit up right now, even just talking about this because I'm on purpose right now, right? Wealth. What's your income goal? Don't be scared. Be audacious. Is it $100K a year, $200K a year, $500,000, $1 million? Doesn't really matter, right? Is there a type of house that you want to live in? Do you want to travel? Do you want to retire your parents? Do you want to send your kids to private school? Like getting crystal clear on, hey, if I'm an orient towards making X amount of money, it's going to fulfill my desires. It's okay to want money. It's okay to want to have a specific lifestyle. For anybody that's telling you that that's not okay is completely full of shit, because most of the time when I hear that from people and they're sitting in their $5 million home, it's like, okay, Mr. Wealth person, like money doesn't matter. Okay, then sell your $5 million home and your cars and go live in a shack. Oh, right. You love your comfort and your beautiful backyard and your swimming pool and your swim spa. So shut the fuck up, right? Don't listen to those people. Lifestyle. Okay. Do you want flexibility in your work? Right? Do you want to be remote based? Do you want to be location based? How many hours do you want to work in a week? Right? How do you want to spend your spare time? Who do you want to spend your time with? Like, I don't want to work 100 hours a week. I've worked ridiculously long weeks and ridiculously long hours, and man, it sucks. Like, I hate being tired all the time. So like, get really clear on, here's my health goals. Here's my financial goals and what I want to achieve in the wealth category. And here's the lifestyle that I want to live. Okay, so, right, this is the vision map we're building out. And I'm going to keep going through this, and I'm using myself as an example. But my why, Project 1 Million, baby. I'm on a mission to awaken 1 million men to live with purpose, depth, and integrity. Right, this is a movement to help men move from surviving to thriving in their life. Right, I'm standing behind my values with authenticity, integrity, respect, and kindness. In the health realm, I want to be healthy, fit, strong, mobile, lots of energy. I want to feel 10 years younger than I am at every moment in my life. I want to surf 5-foot waves. I want to run a Squamish 50-kilometer race, and I want to compete in Hyrox Pro. And eventually I want to receive belts in BJJ, which is jiu-jitsu. I've never done it, but that is something that I want to achieve in my life. Wealth, right? I have a revenue business goal of $500K a year. right? I want to have a backyard with a wellness spa built in. And I want to have a 1969 Stingray in black. I'm not a car person. I'm not a fancy car person. But there's something about that old school Stingray with that bent hood. I just love it, man. I don't know. It's what I want. Can't really tell you anything. It's on my mood board on Pinterest, which I'll bring up later. I want to have flexibility in my lifestyle, right? I want to be able to work remotely, work around the world. I want to build my business around sprints, which is like go hard, make a bunch of money, rest and travel, repeat. Drink little espressos, right? Drink my little espressos on a patio with my laptop. I'm in somewhere down south. There's beautiful palm trees. And then, I want to be able to like write and record music on weekends in a home studio. I don't have a home studio yet. I got a little bit of gear, some guitars kicking around, but ultimately, like this is, can you see the level of intention around how clear I've gotten on what it is that I want in my life? It's really easy to get motivated because I'm like, man, like I am so clear on what I want. I got to go out there and create it in the world. And it fires me up and I feel so good, right? Like I'm full of energy right now teaching this parts of the section. So like my goal for you is start building out this vision map. Create a board on Pinterest. I've created many boards on Pinterest. Like go through and find like what's the house that you want? What's the backyard? Where do you want to travel? Like pull some photos of the waves that you want to surf or the mountains that you want to climb. Like visually, like get involved, get creative with it. Make a coffee or a tea, put on some nice music and really allow yourself to get in that flow, right? Get in that flow of like what is that I want to create in my life. And then now you have a roadmap. You're not just like, I want to make money. I want to have a good relationship. Well, like, to what extent? What does that mean? Okay, so just to kind of recap on what the sections are here, like write this shit down. You've got your why, your purpose, right? Your values, and then you've got clarity in what you want in your health, your wealth, and your lifestyle. And you want to get crystal clear because if you're not clear or you're going down a path and now you have this way to orient your life, you're like, well, I don't want to say yes to that opportunity or I don't want to do that thing because that doesn't align with my vision map for my life, right? So I'm going to get 100% crystal clear on all of these different buckets because that's what's going to allow you to build the life that you actually want to wake up to every single day. Okay. So that's pretty much crafting a vision for your life. And you need to do this, your partner needs to do this, and then you need to cross-reference with each other as to this is what we actually want in our life, this is what we want in our relationship, and then you can create that path forward and learn how to support each other, learn how to love each other better in that, and support each other's dreams. And now both people are contributing to their internal life as well as the relationship. So that is how you craft a relationship. That is how you craft a vision for your life. And I'm just really excited that to see you. If you've got a Pinterest board that you've created, like DM me on Instagram, send it to me. I'd love to see the board that you've created because I just love this shit. I've taken a group of men, right? I was tentative at first when I first launched the program. I was like, am I going to really make a bunch of men do vision boards? We did it. And it ended up being one of their favorite parts of the entire program, which is awesome. So if you have any questions, again, drop it in the comment section, hit me up, and or book a call, and we'll continue to dive in this as we build out your life and build out your beautiful relationship. So let's move on to the fifth and final pillar of this course, which is understanding and sharing the mental load. This is the number one thing that I think causes divorce. Let's dive in.